Afternoon, everybody. Hello and welcome to the Soul Food Book Club. We are here to start a new book today, and we invite you all to join us, whether you got the book, have started it, have read it, whatever the case is. Just come on in for a discussion. We'd love to have you here on Zoom with us. I'm Teri Angel, your host, and our Soul Food Book Club members that are here are Aunt Mary Lou in Massachusetts, and she's holding up a copy of the book that we are going to be talking about today, The Game Psychics Play by Kass, Hillard. We also have Jean Loriot out in Texas. I'm so happy to see our Auntie Jean here. And we have Grace Isis here in New York, where I am currently at. Hello, Grace.
Hi.
So glad to have all of you here. This is a new book. A brand new book. We had to pre-order it, and I think some people have it. Some are still waiting for it to arrive in the mail. I got mine on Kindle, and Jean, I believe you said you have yours on Kindle as well.
On Kindle too.
But I'm excited about this book. I was hoping that our Christine would be here with us today, Christina, so that she could tell us more about the author. And hopefully there'll be a connection there where the author of the book will want to come on and meet with us. We haven't explored that yet, but we will. And to see if Kass will come on and meet with us and talk about the book herself. So have you all delved into it? Have you cracked it open to see what it's all about? And let's hold that discussion of what you're getting so far from the book.
Doesn't give page numbers, so I can't tell you what page I'm on. But I've been reading it and enjoying it. I like the way she's been defining the different psychic abilities or gifts, rather, I guess is the better term. But sometimes it does get confusing, and I even think that like within gifts, there's different gifts. If you're a healer, there's different gifts in the healing. If you're a medium, there's different gifts in that. And so I'm finding it very interesting. It's also easy to read. I like that you don't have to, look up every word or really go back and read several times, to try to make out what it is. So I'm enjoying it quite a bit.
Yeah, I found that too, Jean. When I first started reading, I'm like, oh my gosh, somebody wrote a book on our level then, not like the $10 terms and, things that we have to wrap our brain around. We can just flow with it and read, at our own pace and understanding. And I love that. Yeah, thank you for bringing that up. Mary Lou, you've got the book.
I do have the book.
That book.
Her first chapter is on intuition.
Mm-hmm.
And, and I think that all I've heard all my life is that women have a special intuition. That I don't know if it's, true to fact that women necessarily have it more so than men, but that's what I've always heard is that women have a woman, they call it woman's intuition. Mm-hmm. And, for me, I've always tried to be aware of that. And I've always admired like psychics when I see them on TV and been a little leery. A little suspicious. I used to think, well, they probably Googled somebody before they were on the show. That's how suspicious I could be, but I want to believe in that. I want to believe that there's a part, and I do believe that there is a part within all of us. And she says that, that we all have that. ability within ourselves, but that most people don't try to tap into it and increase it even. It sounds like in the first chapter, which is really the only one I read so far on intuition. But it all makes so much sense that it's almost like having a level of faith of believing within yourself, your own thoughts and your own feeling sometimes about something, that all you have to do is trust that. And I like how she's walking us through it very slowly. And like Jean, you said, with easy to understand terminology, if we're not into the psychic phenomenon on very in tune levels, and so for somebody like me, I'm finding it very easy to read. And I like how she gives examples. She said some questions you might ask are like, is it going to rain? Do I need an umbrella? Is this a good time to go to the store or the library or the post office? And I mean, I have gotten nudges within myself. I was trying to think of some things that I could share, about specific things, and it's hard to come up with it. Like if you're having a conversation with a friend, how are you today? What's new? I never can think of anything new right off the bat, but once the conversation continues, then you can come up with instances, of specifics.
Yeah, I loved the example that she talked about where she was like doing this thing to develop her intuition, and she asked in the post office, will I have a male clerk or a female clerk? And we heard it was going to be a female. And so then when she got to the front of the line, it was very obvious it was a male that was going to be helping her. And then when she got there to the window and asked her question or whatever she wanted, that person deferred her to the female that was right beside of him and said, she can help you. And so her intuition was correct. It didn't appear to be at first, but then it really was. And that's something I think that's a good point for all of us, because we want to see the evidence of what we are calling in or what we're hearing. We want to see that, for confirmation of it. So sometimes we have to give it a minute, right? We have to look beyond what the real thing that's being shown is and say, okay, let me just wait a minute. And then the rest of the story shows up. And just like in that case, the female was the one that ended up helping her.
Yes.
So I love that is something that's a teaching for us as well, for that patience and to not give up. Maybe we did hear the message right. Like she was questioning, well, I guess I heard the message wrong, but she really didn't. It really did show up for her. I think we're getting our Charlie and Erica coming in. I think I have their books right here at their house.
We had a cameo by Charlie, and that's probably Erica's hand.
It looks like Erica's hand. So before they come on, and I do want to hear from them, they're away on vacation. And we're so glad that you all joined us, Charlie and Erica. So before they come on, I want to share something that happened. And this happens quite often when I'm doing a session with somebody. If I'm tuning in to what the angels want them to know, I just really relax and let the angels flow messages through me. And one thing that happens is I always get an image that comes in. It may or may not be something that person resonates with. But yesterday I was doing a session and the message that was shown was a tire. And it was like a car tire, but it was like really big. And they were, showing me it very clearly. And when I said that, the person on the other end of the phone just freaked out. And she's like, oh my God, I need new tires. I was just told that my tires are threadbare and it's dangerous for me to drive my car right now. So I just started laughing and I'm like, I didn't know zip about this person. I'd never seen them, met them, talked to them before. But here were the angels saying, okay, you're going to give a message, and this is what we're going to show you. So when we open to it, it happens. When we develop those gifts, it's just like effortless. We don't have to do anything. Spirit brings it in for us. And I love that that's some things that she's showing us especially in this first chapter on intuition. I want to say hello to Kathy Han joining with us virtually. And our Charlie and Erica are here from Block Island. Hello, hello.
Hi, everyone.
Hi.
Actually,
Charlie.
we lost you.
No, you're here.
Oh, okay. The screen went black for a second.
Okay.
It might be the internet connection here. So we went down to the beach and we read over like the first 3 or 4. I don't know. They're not even called chapters. The different things, and the one was talking about imagining being at the beach. And here we are, we're sitting at the beach, and imagine listening to the waves. And here we are, we're listening to the waves and the kids playing in the sand. And we didn't have to imagine because we were there. So, I mean, we were imagining the other time, but we read over it. So, but it was, funny that, it's funny seeing you drink out of the Peanuts cup too.
Whose cup is this?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
Whose cup is it, Charlie?
I think it was Christine's.
This is Christine's cup.
Yeah, but I drink out of it a lot. She has another one she has now, so I sort of like took it over because it's bigger and you get more in it. Yeah.
I know. I made some chai tea, and so I wanted it in a big cup.
Oh yeah, and I kind of like all the exercises that they they have you do, and the different
I like
ones.
those too, Charlie. She called them
Yeah.
thoughts for consideration.
Right,
Mhm.
all the ones like with the energy field,
Yes.
where you put your hands in front of the face and all of that. Yeah, it's all. It's really good. I'm really enjoying it. Like you said, it's a nice, easy read.
Mhm.
So, yeah, it's like the one with intuition and what was it? With the one with intuition, or you just your consciousness.
Fire.
No, the one with intuition and your consciousness, like trying determine which is which, and like sometimes if you don't go with your intuition and something will happen,
Like coincidences, she said.
right?
Like trying to tell the difference between intuition and coincidence.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, and she said keep a separate journal of which one it might be which.
Right. Yeah. It's hard to decipher which is which, but what I find is there's so much like in my life lately, it's been like synchronicities, I guess, where something will be, I like it was with my, I was just talking with Erica about my son paying me back some money that I had loaned him or borrow or whatever, because he was getting his check from the fire department retirement, because he moved. So we had so much time in, so we get so much money. So he paid me back the money. And then right next to us, driving in the car, was a New Jersey plate right where he lives with
fire department.
a fire police, I think it was.
Yeah.
Plate with a 999 number.
Yeah.
So it's like so many like synchronicity things. Yeah. But anyway, no, the book is really good. We're both enjoying it.
Good.
Yeah,
Yeah, Kathy says she hasn't started reading it yet, but she plans to this weekend. So we've got people that are just getting their books. Charlie, I think your book is here. Did you order the?
No, we have
Oh,
the
you
two
have them.
copies. That's the other one you ordered for Erica.
The one we talked about on Friday. That's the book. Okay.
Napoleon Hill. Sorry, the girls heard a noise, so they had to go investigate.
of course.
They probably heard my voice.
Yeah, right?
Oh, yes. Yes, that's what it is. When my puppy used to hear my voice, he would start whining. When I was out of town, he'd start whining. I like the exercises a lot too, Charlie. The one that I'm on right now is where she's teaching you about feeling the energy, and she goes into the different exercises, and one of them is how to feel the energy ball. We've used that in our healings and things, and you feel the energy ball. And so she talks about that step by step, how to kind of train yourself to feel that energy ball. So there's a lot of really helpful stuff in there. But I really appreciate that. I think she wrote it for lay people. That's what you would say, that for people who aren't psychics or whatever, and really don't know. They might even not know what they are because they have these gifts, and we needed explanation of them. We did.
Yeah,
I liked her story of, sorry, Teri.
go ahead.
I liked the story of when she told us that she's a bead artist, and she had her beads in the middle of a project and had to leave, and she kept hearing the word, she had a feeling that she should pick them up, but didn't want to take the time and make the effort. And 3 times, she heard beads. And when she came back, one of her pets or something had disturbed them. And she realized afterwards she wasn't listening to that intuition, it would have saved her a lot of time if she had only moved them. But she just felt like they were okay and didn't listen to that, voice inside of her that was saying, it's a good idea to pick them up. I have experienced things like that before.
Oh yeah, me too.
For sure.
Yeah.
Me too. When you get that nudge and you know that you should stop and take care of whatever it is, and you don't,
Yeah.
There's always a consequence.
Like last week, I had gone to the grocery store, and sometimes I run it by my husband and sometimes I don't. And the same with him, it's sometimes spontaneous. And I picked up, I don't know, I'm just going to say hamburg rolls because I don't remember what it was. And I got home and he had gone out and about, and he had picked up hamburg rolls too, and we've all said, oh, if we only talked about it, but neither, it was something we needed, and we just circumstance, just both got it.
Right.
And we do that a lot with each other, not necessarily in a negative way, but I'll say something and at the same time, he'll say the same word. I don't know what that is, if that's intuition or, just compatibility. I don't really know what makes that happen, but I know it does in our relationship.
Yeah, I think it's that high connection.
Yeah, connection. Yeah.
That's really a good point, Mary Lou, because sometimes we don't know the real difference, because like my youngest son, I can send him messages. He's a receiver. At least for me, he's a receiver. Even when he was little tiny, I could tell him things without voicing them, and he would know what I meant. Mm-hmm. So, sometimes it's not intuition, it's being able to communicate psychically, I guess. You know,
Telepathically, yeah.
telepathically. There
We
you
do
go.
that a lot on the morning show. You all know that. You've seen that. We call somebody's name or say, we're missing so-and-so today, and let's call them in. And next thing we know, there they are.
Mhm.
You know? So it does work to send out those telepathic messages.
Mhm. Yes.
And what I was going to say in response to Jean's last comment about it being for all of us, and especially there's people that don't know that they have an intuition and don't have the gifts that we all have access to, is when she puts those questions in at the end, it's to help us become more aware of that. And I love the ones in that first chapter on intuition. So I think that's going to be helpful as we go along to the other chapters as well, to just remember to look at it as, okay, let me see what I can learn from this. Let me see what I can bring in that's new to me. And then those that are brand new to spirituality, or especially to our spiritual gifts, it's a real help to them to be able to just sit back and answer those questions. So, Charlie, I'm sorry I interrupted you. Go ahead, please.
No, that's okay. I was just going to say the one with the clairs, getting to know your clairs, and how the one with the lemon always gets me. It's like I could taste that lemon every time she mentions it. It's like that. It's like no, but yeah, and the carnival there, and getting to know your clairs. That was a good chapter. Well, not chapter, whatever you want to call it. Yeah. And the other one was getting like all the negative energy off of you with rubbing the arms and a couple of your hands.
Get the energy moving.
Yeah, get the energy moving and stuff. Just a reminder of things to do that, that you just forget about. You don't, if you don't do them every day, you sort of, they fall by the wayside and you don't remember. Yeah. So just a reminder of some of the things that you should be doing that you forget about. Yeah. But no, it's very good. I'm enjoying the book.
Mhm.
So
We are.
Yeah. So
We've read it over a couple of times, different areas of the book as we're going.
yeah.
And, sometimes we have people around us. So, or, we're not in a place where we could do the practice thing. So we plan on going back and doing more of the practice things.
I have to say, Erica, vacation suits you.
Ah,
You look so good and so happy.
thank you. I'm
you.
sunburned, but I'm
Thank you
okay.
for coming on camera, because I love seeing you like this. You're glowing. I know you're calling it a sunburn, but it looks like a glow.
Why, thank you.
We're right above where the kids are in the pool down below us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you for the pictures.
We just got back from the beach. We did the sunrise this morning, and then we went back and spent a couple hours at the beach after breakfast, and then we come back and did the pool and lunch, and now we're here, jumped on.
And he wonders why I'm tired. We did a lot already today.
Yeah.
Good. And how's Christine doing?
She's just got a runny nose and stuff, and her ears. It's probably too much of the pool.
Too much sun, maybe.
And the pool and stuff, So it's hard to keep her out of the water.
Yeah. Well, Kathy says Erica does look especially pretty today, and Charlie has a total look of peace today. So nice to see them both.
You all should have seen us 5 minutes ago. We were like this.
At one another's throats. Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Well, we were hurrying up, that's what we were doing, hurrying to make it to book club.
Oh, and there was another one. The one with the mirror thing.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Really?
The one with the mirror for reflection. That one.
Yeah.
I swear, people, he does these things just to do this. I'm not even kidding you. He really does. We were shopping, we were souvenir shopping yesterday. We found a little bit of time by ourselves. It's very people here. So, we found a little bit of time by ourselves and we were souvenir shopping. And I saw this water reflector necklace. And I really loved it. He bought it for me.
So he's going to show it to us.
Oh, how
pretty.
So it
pretty.
reminded me of
lovely.
the mirror.
Hold it still,
reminded me of the
Charlie.
mirror, and that's what attracted me to it.
Oh, it's
Oh, and it's
lovely.
a water reflector. So
I
he
love
bought
it.
For me.
Beautiful,
Yeah.
Erica.
Beautiful.
Good
Yeah,
for you,
so-
Charlie.
You did good, Charlie.
She says, "Oh, we're reading this in the book."
Yeah, like it reminds me of what we're reading in the book, the reflection, the mirror.
So we had to.
Had to get it.
Had to get
Erica
it
manifested it.
for you, Erica.
Yeah, maybe. And he keeps trying to get me to put this hat on.
So you're gonna get more sunburned.
Well, she wears it when she gets in the sun.
Yeah.
Good.
Good
We're
idea.
not in the sun right now.
Yeah. So.
Yeah. Well, Tammy says it's a beautiful necklace. Hi, Tammy. And
Thank
Kathy
you.
said, so beautiful. I like that a lot.
Thank you. Thank you.
And we have Donna Zimmerman on with us in the book club. Hi, Donna. Thank you for being here. I was hoping Christina would be here, and hopefully we can, I'll ask her if she can get in touch with the author and see if the author would come meet with us on one of these weeks that we're talking about the book. I haven't gotten very far into the book, so it's one of the things on my list.
I wanted to thank Christina too for recommending the book. It's really,
Thank you, Christina.
even though she's not here,
She'll watch the replay.
Yeah.
You will.
And she will psychically know that we're saying this.
That's right.
She will.
On the back of the book, it introduces Kass Hillard as our author, a retired certified reflexologist, hypnotist, and Reiki master. She owned a holistic healing center and a practice in Southwest Michigan for many years and is an ordained minister.
Oh.
Beautiful. I can't wait to meet her.
I know, it'd be great if she could come in.
Yeah, I'm sure Christine will get her.
I'm sure. So I want to throw out one of the questions or the thoughts for consideration that was in the very first chapter. How does your intuition speak to you? What intuitive signals do you receive and how do you receive them? What does your intuition sound like and how does it feel? I loved this question or thought or whatever it might be in opening because I think we all experience things differently, even though we're all connected and we're all one. And I physically hear words. I hear things as they come in intuitively to me. It's like a whole conversation that's going on because I'll ask for clarification. You know, when I hear those words, I'm like, okay, who's talking to me? Who are you? You know, and who is this message for? Is this a message for me or is this for somebody else if it's not very obvious? And Linda's in the hospital. Good. In the hospital. She's in the audience.
Oh,
Oh my God.
may be coming home from the hospital. That's where the
Go to the
hospital part
hospital.
came in. Sorry, Linda.
I'm glad
So
you're doing
hello and
better.
welcome. So anyway, I'd just like to open that up for anybody to share how you get your intuitive messages. Do you hear them? Are they just a thought that comes into your head? Is it a sign? Sometimes I get that too, something that just pops up in front of me and I know what that means. So how does it come to you?
You know, Jean, earlier you were talking about your connectedness with your son, you know, and I think I have that with my daughters too. Sometimes I think I'm missing them, you know, but I'll pick up, you know, my iPad and text them or something. Mom, I was just thinking of you too. Did you hear about this or something like that? So often that'll happen to me, you know, with my family, you know, in that way. You know, and you know, there's no reason, you know, maybe I'm just missing them, but I think it's my intuition saying they're missing me too, and to make a connection. I think that's one specific thing that I can say, you know.
Yeah. Yeah. A lot of times when somebody pops into our head, it's spirit telling us to connect with them. And that happened to me 2 days ago. I thought about a friend. I hadn't talked to her in a while. And I thought, I really need to call her. And then later on, I really need to call her. Well, yesterday she texted me, "Can you talk?" And I was like, "Oh my gosh, I was supposed to call you." And
Yeah.
so she needed help. She needed to work through something. And that's the way it works. When somebody's calling our name, we know when somebody is reaching out to us, it comes in intuitively.
Meg and I do that all the time. If I think about her, I know she's going to call me, and she has the same reaction. She'll think about me, and like she knows I'm going to call her. So we have that little channel. But I get it all three ways. I get a thought in my mind. I would say that's a thought in my mind. I hear it sometimes. It sounds to me like it's coming from my heart. And a lot of times it's hard to tell whether it's intuition or my conscience, because they kind of come from the same place. And then the other thing is seeing something. I'll be going to do something. All of a sudden I'll see something. I'll say, "Oh, okay, you don't want me to do that. I won't." So you get it in all ways, I think. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Fun.
Yeah, with me, it's the clear audio too. It's like I hear it that that it comes to me that way.
Has anybody had it happen like in a dream?
Yeah, that's where they talk to me in a dream.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had it where my mother told me I was going to win an all-inclusive trip to the Dominican Republic. I don't know if I told this story or whatever. And she had passed on already years before. And my son played travel baseball and used to sell the chances to get your money back that you paid for the uniform or whatever. And the season was over, and he wasn't even going to go. He didn't even go to the. It was like an awards, a tournament game, like at the end of the year with all the different teams. And he says, "I'm not going. The season's over." So he didn't even go. And I said, "My mom told me we're going to win the trip to the Dominican Republic, and sure than anything, I won the trip to the Dominican Republic, just like she said." So, yeah, so that's like when I had my aortic dissection after that, and I went up there and she said, "You can go back, but you can't drink no more." I said, "Okay." So, I listened to her. And so anyway.
I'm so glad you listened to your mama.
Yeah.
Yes. I don't know why you would think that.
Big one.
because he's just so busy talking. It's amazing he can listen to anyone.
Erica.
Just saying.
She's just saying.
Maybe you need some duct tape, Erica.
Oh, I tell you, you have no idea. I just know things, you know. One time I was driving down the road and I was going to make a left turn, and I just knew not to do it. And then a car shushed right past me on my left side. So had I turned, I would have hit that car, or that car would have hit me. There would have been an accident for sure.
Right.
And you know, so stuff like that, or like I'll just start talking, like with work and stuff. I just kind of like intuitively, you know what to do. I'll just start, you know, words will just start coming out of my mouth. One time I was, this wasn't working, but whatever. I was shutting a ventilator with my friend's mom, and I said to her, good thing we didn't have her come and do it, because she'd probably break something. And then a pane of glass fell out of the greenhouse, like right after I said that. And, you know, she's an accident-prone person. She probably would have got cut from that glass. And, you know, so things like that. And I also had a dream of my car. My car was crashed, you know, it was totaled. And it like really freaked me out, because I was running in life and barely getting any sleep. So it freaked me out so much, I decided to take the next day off. And within a week, my daughter totaled my other car. They were the same color, but it was my other silver car. Within 1 week got totaled. That was on a Thursday, and it was totaled on Wednesday.
Mhm.
Wednesday. It's crazy.
That's her claircognizance, right?
It's crazy.
It is.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd love to hear from Grace Isis. Grace, if you want to give any input into the conversation, I know you're here. We're not ignoring you, but if you would love to contribute, we'd love to hear your thoughts.
That's okay. I'm just listening because I'm in between trips. So
Okay.
I'm just listening. I'll chime in when I get the
Well,
chance.
I
But
know
thank
I
you.
know you have very high intuition, so I didn't know if you had something you wanted to share.
Well, maybe I can. Let me see. I actually don't really know how to kind of pinpoint mine, because there are times I get messages from the other side a lot, and to me, I just start talking, and I actually know that I can channel as well. And sometimes I'll talk and my voice will go into a different cadence and different flavoring. And by the way, hello to all of you, Charlie and Erica, and you look beautiful, and everybody who's on virtually. And but I do I think mine really, I don't really know, but I do know sometimes that I'll know. I just have a knowing, and I do know that I do ask in the morning. Every morning when I wake up, I ask, what am I supposed to do? What is needed from me? And so with that awareness, I guess I'm guided. Sometimes I will just, and I think it's just going with what's deep down inside. What are you feeling? Mine, I think, is also feeling, because sometimes I could just tell somebody hello, or even the people who sweep in Times Square, and I'll just tell them, thank you for sweeping. Thank you for doing what they're doing. They're like, oh my gosh, you mean I actually make a difference? It's noticeable. And I don't know, but I'm still learning. I'm still learning how to allow my gifts to come out. I do see a lot of visions. I have a lot of visions, Teri and everyone, and sometimes I don't even know how to decipher it. Too many images. I remember once when 9/11 happened, I was actually supposed to be in one of those buildings you were having some construction work on the 42nd floor, but something held me back in the office. And I was like, okay. And you know what it was? It was listening to National Public Radio. There was a story on National Public Radio. And I said, I got to finish this NPR story. And then boom, like 5 minutes later. But what happened was, what I finally started realizing is I would be in the bus. I'd be taking the bus going home, and we'd be on 6th Avenue. And the minute my head was turned, I was on the bus and my head was turned towards downtown to the World Trade Center, I saw images. I saw the hands. I saw a lot of things. And I'm like, oh my goodness, I'm actually seeing what's happening. So for me, I'm beginning to understand it's also very images. I don't know how to process them or to understand what they are, but I'm beginning to write them down too. So,
Good.
yeah, thanks, Teri. Okay.
Yeah, and I think if I remember correctly, in the first chapter, she gave a couple of instances of people that were supposed to be in the building on that day, and for whatever reason, they were not there when the incident happened. And that happens to so many people with avoiding tragedy or avoiding something that's not going to work out very well for them. Just like what Erica was sharing about not turning left. I've had times when I was delayed in going somewhere and then found out there was a very bad car accident, or there was something that I would have been caught up in the middle of it. So it happens all the time. We're constantly being nudged, I think, by our guardian angels, and that comes in through our intuition.
I have one more to share. Sorry. It's funny because I have this habit that I started developing, that if I'm supposed to call someone, make a phone call, and I try it 3 times, and within the 3rd time, I say, okay, well, the angel that was supposed to be here is there. I've seen it with my parents. I'd be calling them and nobody's answering the phone, and I'm like, why? And then I realize, because nobody was around. And then sure enough, somebody passes by and answers the phone. So I have a habit of 3s. I do something 3 times. And if it's not supposed to happen at that time, and being patient and realizing that because everything has its own timing and the right time. That's part of, I think, what she's also telling us to be aware of, to be conscientious of.
Yes, absolutely. And I wanted to read Linda's comment, who is not in the hospital, by the way. I'm sorry about that. I saw her name, and the next word I saw was hospital. But she said Dick may be coming home from the hospital today. So we'll pray for that. But Linda says, I am connected to my older son. His wife isn't really into this, but she'll tell my son, you better call your mom. I'm sure her spidey sense is going off. Yeah, I think that happens a lot too, Linda, where, even when somebody's not into what we call the woo-woo stuff, using our intuition, all those clairs that can kick in, they still can receive that message from us. It's spirit on the higher realm bringing that through. So thank you, Linda, for sharing that. And welcome, Pat Moss. Good evening to you. This has been a beautiful discussion today. I'm loving this book. I'm loving that it just kind of fell in our lap. Christina's like, I have a friend that wrote a book. And I love how that happens. So thank you again to Christina for bringing this forward to us. And we will be discussing it for the next few weeks. So any of you that can join us, this is the time when we are meeting. We're back to our regular time of 1:00 Eastern. And we'd love to have you on here on Zoom or in the audience discussing the book. And can you all hold it up again, please? It's The Games Psychics Play. Now, there's another book called The Games Psychics Play. This one is just called Games Psychics Play by Kass, Hillard. And we highly recommend that you delve into it. because I'm from what you're hearing here today with our discussion, and I hope it got you a little excited about possibly reading it and exploring it with us. We love bringing books in that we can learn from and that feed our soul. And Mary Lou.
I just want to say that, I think I'm attracted to this kind of thing in my life right now. My husband and I were sitting out on the porch this morning, enjoying our morning together. And, I got talking and thinking about how at certain stages in our life, we're provided opportunities for growth. And things happen. We're so busy and active at some stages that we don't have time for it. And I just feel like, learning about this in a different perspective with a different depth than I've ever been able to or allowed myself to. I think it's so faith building for me. I think it's all about, this is my, empathy talking and my, in my intuition talking, that I feel like it's so meant to be for me to have met everybody here on this Soul Food Book Club. And I'm very thankful for it, and I just feel it's a depth to my faith that I've never had before. And it's all interconnected. It all ties in with the way that I was brought up, but it's a different approach to it all. And, it's kind of psychic, I mean, I love that word because I think it's all connected with faith that, we can't see it. And, sometimes we can't express it. And even with me, like if I learn terminologies, sometimes I can't retain that to be able to express it, but it actually becomes a part of me, and I'm very thankful for that. I just wanted to say that to all of you. How thankful I am to have all of you in my life right now.
Gosh, I am so grateful that you are here.
Yes.
I just love it when you're in our meetings and you bring so much wisdom and joy and laughter. So thank you for being here with us.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Okay, anybody else have anything before we sign off? Charlie and Erica, I hope you really enjoy your vacation there. I know you're about halfway through it, and I hope
you.
It's doing great.
Yeah, we're having a good time.
Have so much fun. Oh, Charlie, I posted a thing talking about psychic. I posted a beautiful song called Ocean that somebody else had it in their thing today, and I saw it and I said, oh, I'm going to post that for whoever needs a nice prayerful song today. So it's on my post if you guys want to look at it.
Cool, thank you.
We'll have to check.
Yeah.
We'll have to check it out later. Yeah. No, I got so many pictures that of the sunrises and stuff like that.
You'll have to show them to us.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll have to throw a couple on. Erica posted one on her.
They know. They all like
They
it.
all like.
Yeah, we loved it.
I love sunrise.
But I know it's wrong to feel jealous, but I'm sure jealous of you guys.
And we're jealous of all your wisdom, Auntie Jean.
Oh, and I just wish you have the best vacation ever. You deserve it.
We love you.
Thank you.
Oh,
Me too. And the girls are
And your
doing
puppies are,
fine.
I was just going to say your puppies are in good hands.
Sunny's sleeping right beside of me. Coco has spent most of the time on Christine's bed.
Okay. That's
She heard her name. She heard her name. So she has to come in and check out who's talking about her. Coco, come over here. Come over here and say hello to your granddad.
Where are you, Coco?
She's nudging me.
Pick me up, she says.
Sonny's jealous.
Say hello to Daddy.
Aw.
Say hello to your granddad.
Hey, Coco.
She's just a bundle of love. I just love her.
Coco Moco.
Yeah.
Oh, would you hear? Do you hear your name? I'm getting a bath.
Sure you are.
Okay, so I'm so glad you were all here, Jean. I'm so glad you're feeling better. And Grace
Thank
Science
you.
says, be safe out there if you're traveling. We love you so much. Thank you all for being here. And thank you to everyone who came on virtually. We're going to leave you all today with
Namaste.
Namaste.
love you. Bye, everybody.